It is Titan Tuesday. Hello and welcome. It's Titan Tuesday. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam. Way to go with that intro.
We're doing Attack on Titan. I'm back again.
You're back.
I'm back again, and I'm here to Titan.
You're a great rapper. So
it's finally time to Titan.
See, if you did, whatever. I'm not gonna try to defend your rapping game.
Thank you, Sam. All right, this is our Attack on Titan watch through show where we watch a few episodes and we talk about it. We are on season 3 episodes. We watched episodes 7, 8, and 9 of season 3. These are also alternatively numbered. Episodes 44 through 46.
You know, a good summary of like most of these episodes were because 7, 8, 9. Yeah?
It's a stretch. So, yeah, basically, it's funny how, like, crazy this season is. This season is kind of, like, it kind of reinvigorates a lot of things for Attack on Titan.
Very plot dumpy, like a lot of, like, reveals are going on, or, like, revelations going on.
It's really, I feel like it was them really trying to, like, solidify the rules of the world, because season 1 was all about, like, the mystery, and, like, creating, like, a situation that was, like, really interesting and foreign. And then season 2 was just like a big action film.
It was also just a bunch of like, okay, there's traitors in our midst kind of thing, and like finding out who they are.
Yeah, I mean, season 1 I feel like did have some solutions to mysteries, but most of it was just like
and then you had the
creating
Beast Titan
mysteries
stuff too in season 2.
Yeah, but mostly season 2 was just like everything felt very contained in that. Like it was all about like the characters.
I mean, the first half was like
resolved,
was a survival part, and then the second half was just like a retrieval arc again because Eren sucks.
And this one, it's like we have had this whole like military coup uprising. We've got all this drama between who are the like we see the words founding Titan. We learn about like the true royal family. This is a lot of stuff that like it wouldn't have made sense to have it before then. Because I think it like neatly kind of ties together, like because we have a lot of character stuff with Eren and Historia, and it's also very relevant to like the overthrowing of the government. So
yes,
we're kind of like nearing the end of that. Like so we have about 2 episodes left in this little like
the first half
season, the first half of this season,
the first core.
Yeah, I really wish that these seasons were named better because season 1 fine, season 2 great, season 3 part 1 and 2 all right.
Final season part 1.
The final season, and then it was recently the final season part 1, and now we have the final season part 2 coming out. Very confusing. All I gotta say, don't do that in the future. So,
yeah, you heard you JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
yeah, we're gonna get like a part 9, part 1,
part 7, part 1.
Hey, we might actually get that.
I mean, they're luckily they could do like part 7. The West Coast, and then like part 7 to the East Coast, something like that.
Well, we did. Today was the fateful day where the Stone Ocean leaks came out, but before that, we even knew that they were going to be doing batch releasing for the episodes. We knew that it wasn't going to be weekly. Yeah. I'm
talking about more so just splitting up like just half the season just calling it like 2 different things instead of just like releasing it batches.
Yeah. All right, we're not going to talk about that now, even though I really do want to talk about that. But let's jump back. So last we saw our characters, Eren was still chained up, and Historia was basically being like told, "Hey, you gotta freaking eat Eren."
Inject yourself. I can't inject you. You inject yourself and then become the Titan to eat Eren and retrieve what's rightfully ours.
So the one thing here that's kind of interesting is like Historia's whole thing right now is like she's really kind of she's at like a bad point in her life, I would say.
Her lowest.
She had this moment recently where she realized that her childhood friend, her half sister, who literally like is the reason why she didn't fucking like kill herself when she was 9, is dead, and her dad is like, "Hey, your sister's not really gone."
No one's ever really gone, Jim.
No one's ever really gone, and he basically says like, if you eat Eren, your sister's memories will like kind of. Well, so he says like you'll be able to like remember her through the memories or whatever, or meet her through the memories. So it's kind of interesting.
Good Historia, good.
Basically,
kill him. Kill him now.
We do get another quick little flashback with Eren where he remembers his dad saying, avenge your mother.
Yes.
So kind of what we talked about last time, where there was like a little, there's still a little confusion about the timeline.
Yeah.
So this definitely happened after the attack.
Yeah, it's definitely, I guess, more directed towards whatever this Beast Titans like squad or his faction is, because I'm guessing because they're doing it under the orders of like, because Colossal and Armor seem to be off of him because they were shocked to see him, so they kind of see like, you know, it's probably something to do with the Beast furry man.
Yeah, it's interesting
his
that
fucking brother or something.
Yeah, the Beast Titan has been very absent. Well, we haven't seen or heard of Reiner Bertolt at all in this
or
season.
Ymir.
Yeah, or Ymir. Yeah, that whole group has just
Squad is missing.
Yeah. Well, we know where Annie is.
Well,
she's like 6 feet under
somewhere.
In, like, some torture dungeon.
Some sex dungeon. Zachary's sex dungeon. I don't know.
No, I don't want to think about that. So basically what happens in this first episode is there's just like a really awesome fight scene where all of our main characters, all of our children that we love, have to commit brutal murder. They have
Mikasa's like, fucking finally.
It's so funny. So we see they kind of like struggle with it a bit. Like
Jean does.
Jean has like, there's really, the first kill with Jean, they really like spend time with it. Like you see Jean like go in for the kill in slow-mo. Then we see like Sasha is like shooting bows. She like gets someone in the heart, and then we see Mikasa kill like 3 people. Like it's
Connie
killed
nothing. One too.
Connie did. Everyone killed someone. Levi
Armin already had blood on his hand, so he didn't have to kill another person. So
Armin had I think Armin. So what Armin was doing was he was shooting flares for cover.
He already had his kill, so he didn't need to do another one.
Yeah, he did. He already had the Dark Determination.
And yeah, basically they're just slaughtering people, and I think only because there's the one
girl.
Yeah, the one girl that's like his second in command.
What's her name? Like Cav.
They say her name once, and then she just says, "Oh yeah, she was crushed under a rock."
It was like Catherine or Cavern or something.
It's not Cat. It's like a shorter name. But yeah, she basically just takes Hanji out by hitting them in the shoulder and like basically throwing him into a wall, and then.
Yeah, I have to say, so there's a lot of bullshit when it comes to the characters zipping around on their little thing, but so she shoots Hanji with like the zipline part, and somehow like the amount of strength that it would require to like toss a human with a wire that big
without like the thing coming out of them, or like
yeah. If they had done it a little differently, this is such a nitpick. They should not have done this, but they should have had like her angle herself against like one of the big pillars, so that like the momentum of Hanji like would be wrapping around this rather than her physically using her strong arm, her fucking gigantic, get her freaking Hercules arm to like throw and crush Hanji against the wall.
For sure, they gotta take out someone that get hurt in this arc.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. They had like a plan. It's all about Armin. Armin also like devised. So they have this whole thing set up where they have like a bunch of black powder kegs, and when they explode, it makes a big black cloud, so they can like sneak in. Because the whole thing is they're disadvantaged.
Guerrilla tactics, essentially.
Yeah, they're disadvantaged because they're fighting people with guns and they have swords.
So it was really funny where like everybody kills one guy, and then Mikasa just like slaughtering like dozens.
She kills at least 3 in one shot.
Yeah.
Like, Mikasa goes ham. There are some insane Mikasa scenes here.
Yeah.
There's also okay, so another thing Armin explains in like a little lecture moment is that like, I think I even talked about it too. The way that their zip lines are, they need to shoot and aim in the same direction.
The weak spot is like literally behind them.
Yeah, so we have a lot of scenes, like Jean is the one that we see goes right behind a guy and like cuts his fucking head off or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really intense, and it's like, it's really one of those moments where you're like,
and
these characters have really gone through a lot.
And Levi literally just like takes out Kenny and like with a gut shot, essentially.
Yeah, there's a really cool fight, but yeah, he ends up just like slashing Kenny. Kenny freaking heads back to Historia and Rod and Eren.
Yeah, because they set up a net to stop everybody.
Which, I mean, it is kind of a good strategy. Like,
it's hilarious, though.
I feel like it would have worked just as a choke point. They didn't need to have the net. The net makes it almost funnier, but whatever. Really, it's like, it goes right back to like Historia and Eren. And
yes, Historia
has a moment where she legitimately is ready to fucking eat Eren to become the queen. Interesting.
But then, like, she's thinking about it, and like, you know, of course, like Kenny is coming over, but there's the one thing she says where like, you know, if our family had this for like 100 years, why are the Titans like still here?
Yeah, and so there's a lot
If
of
we had the power to get rid of eliminate the Titans, why are they still here when we like now?
There's a lot of questions that are answered like just in this, and some things that are brought up that are really important. So I think Rod says this line. So he says that Aaron. So when what's it called? When Grisha, Aaron's dad, stole the power from Frida, he has the power of the founding Titan. So he called this Titan, the Titan that Frida had, the founding Titan. He said that Aaron currently has the power of the founding Titan, but because he's not of the royal bloodline, he cannot use the power. So Historia would need to eat him, or technically Rod. Like they mentioned this later. Rod could also do it. And then they would have the power. And we also learn that Frida got it from her uncle.
Yes.
And when they transfer the power, their eyes get all like, when you have the founding Titan and you're royal, your eyes are like all big and bright and like powerful, I guess.
But Rod is so like big and dim.
Yes. And his brain is also quite dim. So once Kenny hears that, the whole thing about you need to be of royal bloodline, Kenny comes in and you find out that his plan was basically to become a Titan. Like Kenny knew about this and was plotting to be a Titan. He wanted to like swoop in and steal the power. So he was pissed that he couldn't actually like become the true king, because apparently that's what he really wanted.
Yeah. And yeah, basically he just kind of gets mad. He like threatens Rod, but then it just goes up, basically just goes to Aaron and just cuts a giant cut on his forehead. And he's like, "Let's see what happens now."
Yeah. So I love the line he says here, because he takes the gag out of Aaron's mouth and he cuts him and he says, "All right, you can go for this, but there's no head starts. Like Aaron gets to turn into a Titan and you get to be a Titan. You will duke it out." Because Kenny's just a bastard and I love him. Like he's freaking great.
But Aaron doesn't want to transform. He removes the gag as well, so Aaron kind of had just going through his crying phase.
Aaron has a horror. So, okay, this is where I really actually like Aaron's character. You're calling him a baby. You're making fun of him.
I go baby because, like, literally, Historia is just like, "Yo, shut up, you little piss baby."
Well, even before that, like, so Aaron's thing here is, like, he immediately feels an immense guilt for everything that happens. He literally, like, hates his existence.
I see him crying so much, Jim. It gets exhausting.
I think this is one of like my favorite Aaron moments. I think that he's like legitimately breaks in this scene. He says that he can never atone for everything that's been done.
Yeah.
He feels like he is personally responsible for like basically the deaths of everyone he's ever been around with. And he says the words, "I shouldn't have happened." Like if he didn't exist, then like if his dad didn't have like the Titan power or whatever, Frida would never have died. Like all the misfortune would have never happened to Historia's family. I mean, Historia's life would still be shitty. She'd still live on the farm, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
her sister would still keep wiping her memory constantly.
Yes. Then this is the moment when Historia gets wise and she's like, "Hey, why didn't you go after the Titans? Like why the fuck would we do that?" And so ultimately what we kind of learn here is Rod doesn't really like want to change anything.
Yeah.
He just wants the power back. He just wants the power to be back in his family.
I'm just like thinking like what do they think happened though, like with the Colossal and the Armor Titan like day? Like they don't really talk about that. Like
they don't.
Like that's kind of a big thing that some these two like intelligent Titans came in there and attacked, and all you don't know what Frida's reaction was or what their ceremony they were like. What were they actually doing down there? Maybe because like they were all together, but they didn't really like state why. Because I feel like the only reason they would be under there is to like do the ceremony.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah,
it really raises a lot of questions. It really like
and also, why did Aaron's dad need Aaron to use the power? Why didn't he want to use it?
That's like a really big mystery, actually. We don't really know what the fuck. Because I think we get another line, too. Maybe in the next episode, we see another flashback where he says, "Aaron, if you want to save Armin and Mikasa, you need to learn how to control the power." So, interesting.
Yeah.
He's telling Aaron to control the power, but we know that he can't because he does not have royal blood.
Yeah.
So
unless his memories of eating the girl with the royal blood is going to unlock that power, just because she's a part of him, I guess.
So she is, I guess. Well, so we saw the little flashback.
Yeah.
Well, he saw himself as a girl in the mirror.
He saw himself as her.
As Frida. So there must be like a connection there.
Yeah. Something stupid is just a way to actually trigger and use that power, because they're not going to kill Aaron off like season 3.
He was able to use it at the end of season 2.
Yes.
So that's like the big, like why?
Just like most like Aaron stuff, where like you can't use any of his shit unless he's in a dire situation, like or near death, or someone else is dying in front of him. Like,
it did take him a long time to even learn how to do the Titan thing.
Like, I was surprised he turned like into fucking Titan form at the very end of the episodes we watched. Like easy first try.
Yeah. Also, and then this is when Historia has like the epic moment where she's like, "Fuck this," and then she
slaps.
What is she? Oh, she does an epic slap. She slaps the vial out of her father's hand, and it crashes on the ground. What is that move called? Does that have a move?
Like a judo toss?
She tosses him and like
it's a judo flip essentially, where she just like flips him over.
And it seems like she breaks his back.
Yeah, or like pops his back out, or like his back out.
And then she has an incredible line. She runs up and starts saving Aaron.
With the doctor's bag, and with all the keys are in there.
Yeah, you could say there's even some metaphorical keys in that, not just physical ones.
Keys.
But she says, "I'm the worst girl who ever lived," and that she wants to become humanity's greatest enemy.
It's great.
She doesn't care about this fucking war against Titans anymore. I just
want my girlfriend.
Basically, she had like a Joker-fied moment. Like she gets Joker-fied in
my
this scene.
Joker origins.
Basically,
and she has that moment with everybody. She's unlocking him, and then the squad is also coming up now as well. Like
but there's a key thing that happens.
Okay, so there's two things. Yeah, there's the rod goes over to the puddle and like this licks it once and just starts transforming to a Titan with mostly spine.
Yeah, it's like it's like the biggest Titan ever. They say it's like
twice the size of the Colossal Titan.
Yeah, twice the size of Colossal Titan. And he's so big that he's destroying the caverns that they're in. And so there's a lot of other things happening. Like the squad's trying to like get in, and they end up finding like a secret passage in. It's kind of a weird little like side story, honestly. But they all make it to Aaron.
Mikasa getting a little pissy about
yeah, just everything.
Aaron.
Yeah. So Aaron at this moment, he's like really sad and he doesn't know what to do. And they come in and they start saving him. There's
also a jar we notice has the word armor.
Yeah, Aaron notices there's a jar that says armor, and it was in the bag that had the Titan serum, which we learned. So we paused a few of the mid credits or the mid things,
little infographs,
and it says they suspect that the fluid is spinal fluid.
Yes.
So that's definitely interesting. Also, really gross.
It is very gross. Needles into your back is not a good thing for your anything.
It's I would say it's not a
good mental image for if you don't mind needles or hate needles. Like that doesn't sound good.
It's so gross. Isn't that what happened to Ymir too? Didn't we see her get like a needle in the back?
Maybe
when they kicked her off.
Yeah, we don't know it was like in the spinal cord, but it was like she was just like injected from the back.
Yeah. Ugh, I hate that.
But yeah, so. Basically, the cavern's coming down and everything, and like the guys try to think, what the fuck are we going to do? Because as we do see, like Armin gets Hanji out.
Yes, Armin and Moblit.
Yes, our random jobber that somehow is just 100% fine so far.
It's really funny why it isn't just Jean, like, or even like they didn't just make it Connie. Connie's like,
yes, he's not doing anything.
I don't want to be mean. But I feel
he's gonna kill the Beast Titan, Jim.
I feel like Connie doesn't really fucking contribute anything.
No, he doesn't. He could have been in like the early group of like Marco to be killed on that. His only thing that like his family was transforming into Titans, and he wants to kill the Beast Titan. Yeah, that's
really it. So far, Connie really is not like doing anything for me.
Sasha, everybody had a character moment. Like Sasha, Jean, like Historia now, Ymir.
We'll see. Maybe they'll do something with him.
Maybe. Only you know.
But so Connie has a big moment. Just kidding, he doesn't.
No.
Connie might have like one line in the scene.
He murdered a man. That's it.
But so yeah, long story short, Aaron sees the vial that says armor, and he's like, "Huh, I wonder what that means." Proceeds to put it in his mouth and bite down as hard as he
on
can.
the bottle. Not like take the cap off or
Well, it was tied up. It would have taken too long to untie it.
It's just like just biting on a jar is like the worst fucking thing.
That's the most horrifying imagery I've seen in the series.
Well,
until the next episode.
Okay. So because he uses like the armor power, which we were talking about it like when the episode was going on, but like he said that it's because there's another infographic in the episode afterwards about it, and it's like the armor is like the armor titans, but it's just like it's not like the crystal. It's just like
it just doesn't look like
it's just
it.
like extra armor on the body. It's like
So,
more of an exoskeleton kind of armor, and then
the term they use is hardening.
Yes, well, and also Annie has the I have to focus on a certain location and I can just put it there.
It's like whenever we see Annie do it, it's like a temporary like an active thing in like a video game where you like block for like a second and then it goes away.
And Aaron kind of does it like someone that had like a crazy ice power where they'll just put their hands on the ground and just like make a giant form of just like a weird tech architecture just comes out.
Yeah, Aaron is able to create. So not only does he do that, but also his entire Titan turns into the crystal as well. And
they said like, oh, this must have been a way of like how they built the walls, but like more refined, better version of this, essentially.
Yeah. So
which they just like put concrete over it, or it just made it like concrete.
So I want to bring this up because that's a really good point. So when they at the end of season 1, actually no, I think this was talked about in the beginning of season 2. Remember when the wall broke and there was the Titan going through it? So Hanji said that the material of the wall was the same as Annie's crystal. But it like what you just said,
but it looks like a rock.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It looks like a concrete, like a cement, Yeah,
unless I guess maybe if you're that good of a Titan hardener. You can just make your thing look however you want it to look.
Put like another layer over it just to cover it up and not have a crystal wall.
Yeah.
And like why they put if they just made the wall, like did they just have a Titan there that just so happened to get like crystalled over, or is it just like they just like on all of the walls there's a Titan there?
That is a mystery, isn't it? Nick seemed to be like, remember Pastor Nick? Remember our favorite character? He seemed to immediately like know that it was there.
Yeah.
Rather than like be surprised by it. So
yeah. But yeah, Aaron saves the group essentially, and they get a hole in the ceiling appears, and they all get out, and then basically the rest of the episode was like them planning. The first half is like planning out what we're gonna do to combat the Rod Titan.
The Rod Titan.
It's just too big. It's just crawling towards the city because it wants to it becomes like an abnormal Titan essentially, and like wants to go to like the high population.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little like they go back and forth. This is like very season 1 to me, where there's a lot of like strategizing about like things, and they talk about like, oh, we're not going to evacuate the city because if we did, then the Titan won't go towards like the more fortified area.
It won't go. It will go for the major wall, not this minor wall we have on this small part.
It's also, I just want to point out, it's kind of crazy how quickly this resolves. Like,
yes,
it's kind of like a mixture between season 1 where like everything's heavily planned out, but then season 2 where they just like cut right to the chase and they don't want to waste your time. So yeah, like they end up beating the Titan to. I wrote the name. It's called like It's like Oluo District or something. Yeah, Ovlud District.
Yeah. They do a lot of cannon fire, and basically when he gets up close, then like Aaron turns into a Titan and just throws like a bunch of fucking TNT into his mouth. So when it stands up, this is like my favorite part of like the episodes we watched. So it stands up, and it's because the dragons, all the guts just fucking fall
It's so
out.
fucking cool. Like the face is like all completely like worn away, so its eye sockets are empty.
It's like one of those things where like you slice someone, and then like this face just slowly falls down in one of those movies or something.
It's funny because you were like laughing at like how terrible the CG looked, and then that like there are moments when it like zooms in, or when it's just like a perspective shot and it's actually drawn like hand drawn, and it looks amazing.
The CG, there's a part where like we see it going, and it has this like CG effect of like the dirt moving on its head, but it's always on the head, and it looks like so fat. It looks like it's like
they're moving the model rather than
it's like Diglett, where you have the ground around Diglett, and it's always there no matter what move it does, or like
it's like part of the model rather like an effect that's animated.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand what you're saying, but what like that scene when it tilts its head over is all hand drawn. It looks
actually
incredible.
Animated. It's awesome.
It's one of the most creepy scenes, especially when it's
the face is gross. Like I love
the big intestines fall down. It's really
also
sick.
like a fountain of blood that comes out too that like hits some people.
Which I'd imagine probably would like sear your skin because they talk about how this is the same kind of like colossal titan
steam.
Heat. Yeah, it's like it's so fucking hot that
that's why they douse themselves with water so they'll be fine in the close quarters of going through it.
Wouldn't that just make you steam more? That would just make you steam more because you have like water that's going to evaporate on your skin. I didn't understand that little thing, but
because this extra moisturize your skin so you don't just dry out.
So there's a key moment here before they do the plan where Historia, or Levi approaches Historia and says, "All right, if we win today, you gotta become our queen because you're royal bloodline." And then she's like, "I'll only do it if you let me fight in this one last battle."
Okay.
And he's like, I can't argue with you. And then basically she has the same conversation with Erwin, and he says the same exact thing. He's just like, I'm not in a position to stop you, but...
And well, luckily she gets the technically final kill, crash lands, and make a speech like, yo, bitches, I'm your ruler now, fuck you.
I think that's kind of
Suck
like...
my giant cock.
I think that was kind of like the way that she won Erwin over, was by saying like, people aren't going to just blindly follow whoever is the new leader, especially like there was a whole scene where like the military were saying that this was a drill, and like immediately the citizens were like, wow, this new military government's pretty sus. So I think it was Historia's idea of, let me have a way to like win the hearts and minds of the people
by crash landing on some shit.
Yes.
I'm just excited because like when Ymir shows up and they're gonna have their reunion, it's instead of like Ymir picking up Historia's gonna be the one picking up Ymir and like her new personality
because she's just fucking so strong now, mentally and physically.
She's like fucking like enemy of humanity.
Literally, she says it herself.
I love it.
The scene where she goes for the kill is like really sick too. Oh, there's also that we mentioned just a few minutes ago about how Historia asked her dad, like, why the fuck didn't you do anything about the Titans? Like, you had the power for 100 years. And so the second that she slices through like the last bit of the nape that exists of Rod, she has like all of his memories flash into her, and like basically learns that he had always been, as a kid, that he was like, his dad like punished him for wanting to do it. Like, he was basically, it shows that like the family would do whatever it takes to make sure that the Titans aren't eradicated. They also mentioned this earlier too. One of the other characters says like, this is the ideal peace, is like the first king that came to the walls wanted the Titans to rule over humans. They wanted, this is the only way for the humans to have peace. And one of the other moments too is when we see, what's her face? The girl. Oh my gosh, the girl that Risha ate. What's her name? Frida. We see when Frida became a Titan, when she ate her uncle, or became the founding Titan, she said, "We're gonna stop it, Dad." So even she wanted to stop the Titans, but maybe she also, there was some influence, or she didn't do it. I don't know. It's a little interesting because Rod also says that she wasn't a Titan for very long. So maybe she didn't have a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Because she seemed like a compassionate person.
Yeah. There was a part where, like, because like Aaron basically explains everything like to them, and like Armin and like that's not the Dr. Yeager I know who would murder he must have had a good reason to murder that family.
I love how quickly everyone's coming to defense of these murders.
I'm just like, because he didn't want that family to have that power anymore, so that's why he murdered them all. I'm like, he still murdered like 4 children.
Yeah, and even Historia says that too, about how like oh, there must have been like a reason why he killed everyone. Like,
whatever reason, like it's still fucking murder.
Also, I think it is just
cool
like
backstory, still murder.
Yeah, I think it also, one thing about Rod is he seems kind of cowardly too here. Like, he could have been the one that ate Aaron. Like, he didn't need to make it Historia.
That's what the one plan they're coming up with. Like, Aaron's like, you can feed me to him, and he will turn back into human. Then you can probably capture him. Then,
yeah.
And I'm down to do that.
Which honestly seems like a terrible idea because.
Well, he also said we don't know 100% that's going to happen if he's since he's an abnormal.
Yeah.
Like.
So, just
It's interesting stuff.
there's one last real scene that we see in this little
Yeah.
bit. So
I was pissed that we ended it there, but we're too tired to like. I'm too tired to do another one.
so yeah, we see Kenny. Kenny
Kenny.
survived the attack. Levi's
he has
slash.
a little bit. He has a two-face head now of like half it's burned, half it's not, and like bleeding profusely out of his wound that Levi gave him.
And yeah, he's sitting out. He's like, I really love the setting here. Like the sun is going down. Like Levi and another soldier find him. Yeah, find him like leaning against a tree, and
we get some flashbacks.
So yeah, we see a bunch of really quick flashbacks. We see like the uncle. So the uncle of Historia. His name is Yuri. Wait, I guess he would be an uncle of Historia. So
Yes.
he's like the brother of
Yes.
Rod. We heard some references that he was the one that brought Kenny in to the family. So like Kenny only recently started working with them. Yeah, and there was just like a little smattering.
It's why Rod trusted him so much, because it was like his brother's pick.
Yeah, we also see him recruiting the girl.
Yes,
the girl who died, the blonde-haired girl.
Yes,
which is
the girl that was going to almost be made for Mikasa to fight until she got away.
Yeah, it's almost kind of funny to me that this character gets that much focus. Like,
he gets crushed by a rock.
The scene where she dies is kind of hilarious.
She even dies. She gets hit by a rock. She probably just knocked out, then gets crushed off screen.
So she gets hit by a rock so hard the rock crumbles. Imagine how much force a rock would have to take to crumble when hitting a skull.
Crumble.
Literally, I think she died instantly. Her head should have exploded.
I mean, that's that fucking hard skull just to like, have the rock break first. Like,
it's insane. She has like metal plates in her fucking skull.
You never know. But yeah, and then also there's like, briefly showing him seeing Levi scrapping in the streets. I'm like, Jim, he was always there. I legit thought we were gonna. It'd be so good because with the episode to have like a full flashback of how they met, or their relationship, because it ends with him opening up the little box, and there's a syringe in there.
He has a syringe.
He's like also like dying, and Levi would be very dumb to let him transform. It'd be perfect thing to like research for like Hanji to like actually research.
Yeah, it would be. It would be bad to just let. Also, like he has no, so he doesn't have a person to eat. Like he would just be a Titan. He would just be a mindless Titan.
You'd pray that he would actually kill someone, and he's like in the most like the greatest like killer of Titans is like right in front of him.
Yeah, he wouldn't last very long.
No,
but yeah, I want to talk about the little Levi thing for a second. So. We didn't mention it, but in the last batch of episodes, the grandfather of what's his name, Kenny, in their flashback, when they were talking, he mentioned something about, I think it was his sister who was a prostitute.
Yes, she was pregnant and wanted to keep the kid, and he couldn't talk her out of it, getting it aborted, essentially.
Yeah, so I don't know if I don't think they go into it much more. They might a bit.
I don't think they mentioned. I'm not sure they mentioned. I don't remember seeing anything on
there.
But
I think the implication is like that might have been Levi, like that child.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if they might go into it more, but like they definitely left it vague enough, like open enough. But because we do see like a second where he's with Levi and Levi's like emaciated. Yeah, we might see more of that. I honestly can't remember.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised because it kind of like leaves off at a cliffhanger like that. So.
Yeah, but I mean that was it. Like, there's a lot that happens, but it's really easy to like. I mean, this is a shorter one. Like we went through it really quick.
Yeah.
So much of the last episode was about like establishing the rules of Titans, and like these are huge things. Like these are like extremely important series things.
Yes. The whole, founding father Titan, essentially.
Yeah, even just seeing the word founding Titan, it was almost like a fucking sigh of relief. Like when I finally read those words, I was like, finally, like we're heading towards things.
And they're emphasizing like, we are going to the ball. They're even a point like, oh, I guess that is an important thing we're gonna do. Which is really hammering in there, which now was Eren seemingly transforming like flawlessly and doing like the plan. It seems like, okay, they're very confident going into here now. So
yeah, it seems like they're well. They also address they have a perfect they have like the perfect solution to plug in the hole. Like things seem to be,
and I guess just like
pointing towards like one point.
And I guess you can just get the other powers just by like having that powder consuming that powder, I guess.
The fluid?
Yeah, remember he had like the armor, like the armor vial.
Yeah, that was like a fluid.
Yeah,
think.
So I guess you can just have the power instead of just eating the powers to get him. You can just have this fluid or powder or whatever.
It certainly seems like it.
Because like
I'd like to address this later. I feel like this will be interesting to talk about like what further in the series.
Okay.
Because like
if you put a bookmark on it then.
Okay. But yeah, so Aaron was able to eat the armor vial and do this thing.
Like these are like little power ups in like a fucking like old NES, like in the Contra. You can just pick up like here's armor, here's it.
Yeah, for me that is like
you picked up steam.
So thinking about like treating this like a shonen, like thinking about it like shonen wise, like he doesn't really do anything to earn this power up. He's literally just like it's very coincidental. Like had Historia not have picked up that like a little bag, he would never have seen this. It would have been crushed by
the armor like slideshow thing said like this is like Aaron's first like successful attempt at doing it. I'm like, this is like not an attempt. This is like it seemed like he couldn't do it at all, and then just having his powder made him able to do it. This is not like him earning it. This is him getting a freebie. Like, oh, he did it, yeah.
Yeah, so we only see him in the first episode, I think, of the season. We see him like try to do it, and there's like a really creepy, like weird half-formed Titan that he's in, and we don't like see it. I don't know, maybe in the manga there were more scenes where he actually was trying to do it.
It was like but the spine was just like just a head.
Yeah, it was really creepy. I think his arms were like really scrawny and he was like really skeletal.
You mainly noticed just like the spine and head.
So I don't know, like I think this is weird. I think this feels like Aaron is just kind of given this like for no reason.
They don't give him time to actually like learn or train because he gets kidnapped or like KO'd because he can't have the Titan guy there.
Yeah, I wish that
without constantly making him not be able to transform because he has like performance anxiety.
I wish that like maybe they had spent a little bit more time maybe showing Aaron almost getting it, because like we literally had not ever seen him harden before.
We only see him try it once.
Yeah. And like hardening is something that we've seen Annie do it, and like I guess Reiner can.
I guess they defaultly say like the armor Titan, but I think that's just like a biological thing he just has on his Titan.
Yeah, it's not like an act. Like we talked about the whole active thing, how it's like with Annie.
It's not like like a poem like Silver Cherry where he just takes off his armor and like he can do that, or take the weights off and come run faster.
And he already runs really fast, so holy shit, he'd be a.
He'd be a
freaking speed demon.
But yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, that's like one of the weirdest things I think in almost the whole series. It's like it just feels like Aaron just kind of gets this power up, like literally like a video game. Like it almost feels like a video game.
Yeah, little contra power.
I would say it's like almost entirely unearned. It's like very coincidental.
Yeah.
It's very coincidental because it like helps him from not dying in this scene. But whatever, it's fine. Like
saves everybody
because Aaron is also having like an emotional moment. I think it kind of works. So it's like him. Like really fighting against his depression here.
You got that to work, but he still didn't get the command stuff down. So
yeah. Oh, there's a little scene that I really enjoyed where Armin like pep talks Aaron because Aaron sees the kids right before like the Titan attack.
Look, Aaron, it's us.
Yeah, Aaron is like, I remember these kids in the town remind me of us when we were kids.
And then Armin, a lot less murder.
Yeah. He should not relate to any of these kids because none of these kids are murderers.
Not yet. Mikasa's like, not yet. Here's a knife.
But that's why he relates to Levi so much.
You'll be the next Kenny the Ripper in no time, kids.
But
those military police next aren't going to slice themselves.
True. And we know that Kenny had quite the body count.
At least over 100.
But the one thing that Armin says to him, he's like, those, like, on that day, what we didn't have was people fighting for us. Like, when the Titan showed its head on the wall, we didn't have, like, prepared people that were willing to give their lives to fight, which I like that. That's, like, a nice little, like...
Aaron remembers all his friends that died as well.
Yeah, that was really sad. Mina.
All the jobber classmates, I didn't even know Mina died.
It's pretty safe to assume if you were, like, a class member... and you were at Trost, you died. Like
it's just funny. Like the only female characters left from there are like Sasha, Mikasa, and Historia. And like Historia's like kidnapped for most of it. Mikasa's like a blank slate. Ymir.
She's not here though.
Yeah, she fucks off.
She's gone.
She's literally fucks off. And then like Sasha has a character. Sasha has like the most to do that's not involve being kidnapped and like being a character, which is funny. I don't count Historia because she's been like having her whole like revelation with her family.
Yeah, but yeah, I like that little moment. I think it's kind of it's a nice little.
I understand why
Aaron moment.
Aaron being having this existential crisis, but still, I feel like he's been doing nothing but existential crises.
Well, can you blame the boy? I think that Aaron is actually a really well written character. Like, I don't know if this is like a hot take compared to Mikasa.
Well, and most characters, even Connie probably has slightly more motivation than Mikasa does. He does have more motivation.
Connie does, yeah. He wants to kill the Beast Titan. I do want to say, so there's a hilarious. Anytime that Mikasa like talks to another human, it feels out of character.
It really, like we said last episode, when she just like talked about her like last name in the first clan.
And in this one, there's a line that she has. So when Historia is like, she's talking to Historia after Historia's like said that she'll become the queen afterwards. Mikasa has like a quip at her where she's like, "Hey, you can tell Levi, you can go punch Levi in the face next time you see him when you're queen." And it was just like. Was that line for Mikasa or is that line for Connie? Like,
or anybody, or Jean?
Like literally, Jean makes a lot more sense actually. Like, I don't know. Like Mikasa is such a.
We already went on Mikasa rant. We can't go on another 45-minute
Mikasa
rant.
You can't
in defense
stop me.
of Mikasa.
Never. I just think it's so weird that like Mikasa. Like when Mikasa has these moments of humanity, it's really weird.
And there's so funny, yeah, she still has her like. Aaron, her catchphrase is like Aaron.
Yeah, it is.
That's annoying.
She does it a few times in this.
She does. He's a little pissy when like, Historia like had the option to eat Aaron. She's like, huh? Does he even say anything to her in this season? I don't think Aaron has literally said a fucking word to Mikasa. Not really.
He doesn't care about her.
He had more reaction to seeing Armin like putting his hand up to get him out of the hole than
that was
Mikasa.
A beautiful moment. When the second that happened, I was like shipping.
I was like, man, no, I still say Armin's too good for him.
All right, who's your top ship? You have to pick a ship right now, Sam.
Ymir or Christoria.
Christoria.
Historia.
All right, who's your second ship? Jean and Aaron. You said it, not me.
Armin dressed up as Historia.
And Historia.
I would be Armin and Annie.
Armin and Annie, yes, we do. We stand a blonde couple. We love a nice blonde couple.
Jean and I don't know, like Jean doesn't deserve like, any of these fucking crazy people he's like stuck with, all the idiots. I love this him calling him everybody an idiot.
There's a funny line he has when like he's rescuing Aaron from like the chains, and he's like, "Shut up, you topless idiot," because he doesn't have a shirt on. It's like, why is Gene like this?
I love Gene.
He's so mad all the time.
I love him. He's my favorite. I really relate to Gene.
I love Gene too. I really
just being angry at your job and your coworkers, and just fucking people, please.
Gene really needs more. Like I think Gene is one character that I always want to see more of.
Yes.
Whereas like Connie, you can like Connie, Mikasa, like you can shift.
Give me Jean, Sasha, and like Armin. I'd be happy.
Yeah. Sasha even has a funny little moment here where, do you remember her funny little joke where when like Aaron saved them after they saved?
Yeah, she's like on her knees, like thanking him.
But she says she like recalls her internal monologue, which is basically like insulting Aaron for being a pussy. She's like shut up, you little wimpy weak. I forget the word she used, but like she just like berates him.
You weak, pathetic, white guilt, white
nincompoop.
guilt.
I think she calls him a nincompoop actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, almost everyone gets something. I would say Connie literally gets nothing in this one, unfortunately.
He gets one. He says like one line. That's basically it.
You get one, Connie.
He had more lines than Mikasa, I think, that weren't just Aaron.
Maybe. I wrote Krista's epic slap here, but it changed to Christmas epic slap.
And her name is Historia.
Oh yeah, sorry. I always keep making that mistake now.
Yeah. The epic slap the vial out of his hand.
Oh, there's a part after getting the nice speech from Armin where Aaron just like beats himself up, and Armin's like, "Aaron, no, don't hurt yourself. Yeah, you don't have to transform." He's like, "No, I'm beating up a little useless brat." So Aaron kind of
beating up a little puss baby.
So I guess they needed to have a moment where Aaron was not depressed, so he has like a big resolve moment, I guess.
The post depression like snap out of it, where like everybody's different. I guess
Normally, you just like a character will like punch themselves once, or like another character will punch him on the shoulder. Aaron like beats the shit out of himself.
It'd be like, Gene, punch me, or come here and punch me once. You get a free one. Doesn't snap me out of it. Gene, be like, oh.
It would be so perfect too because he doesn't have to hold back. Like if he knocks a tooth out, it's just gonna regrow. Yeah. So he could just
Gene's eyes like light up.
I do like the idea that Gene can just like continually beat on Aaron, and we'll just not have to worry about
beat off Aaron.
He can beat off Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you think that he would turn into a Titan the second that he cooms?
I think it's only if you got big claws and you draw blood, maybe. But like, it's not like, Superman or some shit where you just got like
you have to wear a kryptonite condom.
Yeah. Where you're gonna have like a shotgun like sperm.
Doesn't Spider-Man have radioactive cum?
That was like,
or is that a joke?
It was not. It was a non.
Oh, they talk about it in Clerks. It's a joke in Clerks.
No. It was a non. I don't think it's canon.
Or no, Mallrats.
Okay, it's like a future like Spider-Man story. I don't think it's canon, but like it's his radioactive sperm gave Mary Jane cancer, and that's the thing that happened.
I thought it was like a joke from Mallrats.
No, Mallrats is like it's just like literally ask Stanley about every genitalia of every superhero, like Mr. Fantastic, or the Thing, like what's up with their junk and that kind of thing. Where Stanley's not like what's it called? From One Piece, where he'll just say like, "Oh yeah, Luffy's dick can stretch." Like, "Oh yeah, Robin can just grow vaginas and boobs out of the ground if she wanted to."
Oh, okay. Wait, this is yeah. So it is. Is it from One More Day? No, it's from Spider-Man Reign.
Yes.
Spider-Man Reign.
Yes, it's the famous images.
Oh my god.
It's very bad.
This is horrible.
Yes, comics are a trip, man.
All right, I'm sorry. This is too much.
And also, it was from Mallrats, not Clerks, but
yeah, I did correct myself.
Yeah.
But I think one of those movies is way better than the other.
I love Mallrats.
And it's not Mallrats.
I love Mallrats. I love Clerks as well.
I would like you to sit down and watch Mallrats and see that it's not a very good movie.
I watched it. I've seen it maybe like a bunch of times, Jim.
How recently?
Like a couple years ago.
SMH.
Because I literally was a Mallrat, Jim.
You can relate to being a Mallrat and not enjoy the bad movie.
I enjoy that movie.
It's a bad movie.
I enjoy that.
Kevin Smith is such a fucking hack. I hate that man. I hope he hears me talking about him and cries and takes a picture of it and posts it on Twitter, like he's done several times. I mean, I like Clerks 1. Clerkles 1 was good. All right. Let's do something else.
Anything else you need to talk about?
I think that's really everything. I didn't intend for this to go on as long as it actually did.
Yeah, you really want to talk about the sperm of superheroes? I mean, here you go.
Well, I mean, what else we got? Green Lantern.
No, unless he wears like a cock ring. That's it.
Cock ring. Do you think he could like?
Jim, you want to abuse my comic knowledge? Go ahead. You can ask me.
All right, Miracle Man.
I don't know Miracle Man.
Then you're not a true comic fan.
I am.
Roasted.
All right. I said I was. I just said I haven't.
Kenny's dying. Oh, we talked about that.
You talked about Kenny dying.
Okay. One last thing. The turn your brain off scene when as Rod Rice's body explodes when Aaron throws all the TNT in there, millions of pieces of him start falling to the city. And they're flying like over the buildings, but then everyone shoots their ODM gear upwards and starts zipping towards. What are they gripping onto?
Don't worry about it.
Are they supposed to be gripping onto like his flesh? Because that doesn't make any sense.
It's like the infinite going forward inside the forest. Like, don't worry about it. It's.
Oh yeah. Oh my! It took me a second to realize what you meant. Yeah, when they just are. They're
just talking while going forward without actually like read.
They're not shooting their things out. They're just like gliding permanently forward.
It's not like they didn't put the sound effect in the background slightly just to.
They should every time they cut to a different character. They should have just done that. They should have had like the sound effect play, so your brain would at least pretend like it's. Yeah, but so yeah. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of this little Rod Rice arc?
Just a lot of development, man. It kind of just like gets overwhelming.
It is kind of crazy.
And I see Aaron actually be able to do stuff competently after his little depression. And what's it called? The story is awesome.
His story is awesome. I noticed that you really
we'll
enjoyed his
review
story.
the arc more once like the last episode we do for this.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have more to say about Historia too in the next few episodes as
God.
well. So
yeah, so there'll be more of a wrap up for part 1. So
then, oh my god, we get to dive into season 3, part 2.
Get that a basement.
This is like the peak Attack on Titan for a lot of people. I think heading where we are now, like shit's gonna hit the fan in a major way.
Yeah,
can't wait. I'm just excited. I'm loving going through this.
I'm excited.
It's a ton of fun. All right, I guess we'll
hopefully. Yeah, hopefully I'm gonna be more awake so we can record more. But
I'm gonna get you at like 7 a.m. one day, and we're just gonna finish the whole series.
You think that's gonna fucking help? Yeah, 7 a.m.
I'm gonna get a syringe of caffeine and inject it into your spinal column.
Just every coffee place, I'll have a Starbucks one, I have a Dunkin' Donuts, and like a Wawa coffee. Just like just drinking them all at the same time.
I'm the Wawa Titan.
The Wawa Titan.
Inject Wawa coffee into my back, and I become the Wawa Titan.
Or get that the Titan suppository we talked about in there too.
All right. Okay. One last question. Wait, what?
I just talked about the various like Titan transformation of other like the tongue licking stuff, which just can just why inject it when you can just lick it.
Well, it seems like licking it turned him into a fucking abnormal creep.
But it also could have just done with his broken spine.
I think that's also part of it too.
If you're damaged when the transformation's happening, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah,
maybe. A little bit. Maybe that's what makes abnormals.
Maybe. I think, honestly, what makes abnormals is consuming it, like, the unintended way. Like, because, like, we see them get it injected, or, well, we see, like, the ideal way, because Eren gets injected, and, what's her name? Oh my god, I forget her name again. No. Well, Ymir did get injected as well, but the other girl that we saw, I just said her name. Frida. When Frida gets injected as well. But Rod like licks it up and he only gets like a little bit and he turns into like
he didn't get it. No, he doesn't like he like looked a bunch of he's just tongue in her for a split second and it
like a literal. Oh my god. What if like you just dropped like one drop?
Oops.
Like walk up behind Connie and just like put like one drop on his
God, no, God, what was it? It was like this one thing where like they were just like infecting people just like in a crowd, just like going behind them and like stabbing them in the back and just like turning them into like whatever was it fire? I don't know. Maybe, there was one scene where just like they were just like turning people into like the fucking monsters essentially in a crowd.
That's creepy.
And it just like started like a panic because a bunch of people were just like transforming. But it may have been fire. I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
I think it was fire related.
Quick question. So out of all the Titans that we've seen,
like the intelligent ones,
which one would you want to have? Which Titan? If I inject you into the formula and I put the person in front of you, who would you want to consume?
Consume?
Who would you? Because you have to consume them to become them.
Except Ymir.
Well, no, Ymir consumed one to become one.
Yeah, but she became herself, the same Titan she was before.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Because that friend, I guess, just didn't have a Titan for him.
We'll find out if that person did or did not have a Titan form.
I mean, they should have, but not Ymir, definitely.
You wouldn't want to be the Gremlin Titan?
No.
The little creepy crawly guy?
Like, the Armor Titan's really rad, though. Probably
Armor Titan would be good, but the Armor Titan is like... I guess he's kind of... He's OP, but he's also kind of dumb. Because he always gets put in, like...
We all know you're going to pick the female Titan, Jim. I know you.
Obviously, I'd pick the female Titan. Or maybe if I could be the founding Titan with, like, the power of... If I have the royal blood, I would do it. I'd be the founding Titan. Because then I could change people's memories all the time.
That sounds terrible.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, that's another big thing they said, like... Even if like he had that power, we gave it to him. Like we don't know if he would actually like alter people's like memories, like to make us forget that this happened.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a fucking like rabbit hole, just like logic. When you affect like you have a power that affects memories and shit, it's like it's a whole can of worms.
It is a whole can of worms.
It's like time travel and shit. Like it's a very deep rabbit hole that can just royally fuck up a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into.
When the power scaling tips and breaks, you write yourself into a hole, and I've seen that a couple times. So
it'd be really interesting to see your opinion once we get to the end.
Yeah,
cannot wait.
And then like if you do Naruto for his series, that could be another thing that could happen. I'll have that poll out soon probably before this episode comes out, but I have the choices in my head.
Okay. Oh, I actually thought, no, I don't think I'd want to become the female Titan because then I'd have to eat and kill Annie. I don't want to kill Annie.
You would love to eat Annie.
Shut up. No, it'd be horrible. I'd kill her. I don't want to kill Annie. I love her.
She don't kill you.
I want to become her best childhood friend, and then we'll grow up together and rent a nice house in the wall somewhere. live out our days as cattle farmers.
Cattle. Oh my god. All right, Jim. Check out his fanfiction on fanfiction.net.
My self-insert where Annie and I become husband and wife.
Literally like what your Attack on Titan video game OC is doing at the end.
Yeah, finds Annie and then marries her.
Yes.
Wins over her heart by giving her gifts. You actually do give gifts to your friends in that game. But the gifts are like alcohol and like tobacco and shit. It's funny.
To teenagers.
Yes.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I want to finish that game. Well, I think it goes to the end of season 3.
Probably, maybe.
I think it does. I know the Beast.
Probably because since the final season came out fairly recently.
Yeah, I think season 3 ended in 2018.
Yeah, that's probably what it's probably right time frame.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There anything else? Or are we good?
I think we're good. Right. If you want to plug it up.
Plug up the hole.
Plug the hole. Do what Aaron is going to do soon, presumably, because he now has the power to do it.
Before he has a fucking performance anxiety to stop him from doing it.
Sam, I'm going to give you a little glass vial. I need you to bite into it. That will give you the power to open up the plug section for this podcast.
Plug it up.
All right, bite into the glass. Oh, Sam just bit into the glass bottle. Oh my God, his lips are bleeding. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere.
Blood.
Why did he bite in the glass bottle? I shouldn't have given it to him.
Why did you seal off the cap with wax?
Well, I put super glue in there too. I didn't want you to hurt yourself. You have such a hard time opening caps.
I'm glad turning into a Titan just also clears out like any toxic materials in my fucking stomach.
It'd be funny if later on Aaron like coughed up glass. Like, oh, why did I bite that?
Like the healing factor just like heals it over, but would it just like inject or just shoot everything out of his stomach?
I've always thought about that with healing factor. Like, it's gonna keep shit in there sometimes.
I mean, they make it that like like Wolverine and stuff. Like healing factor like doesn't let him get drunk. Or doesn't let him get drunk, or Flash, or like they'll just accelerate or like you healing, just get rid of alcohol because it's hurting the body, or like tobacco or anything.
Do they do that in like what did they do that in? Is it in like the Flash TV show?
Flash TV show did a thing where like
they made a super potent alcohol.
They had to give like 100% like alcohol concentration.
It was like 300 proof or something silly, like something, and it got him drunk for like literally 5 seconds, but he actually got drunk. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, you just like healing factors are scary when you like when they're actually
terrible.
Crazy.
It's the scariest thing ever.
So
it's like the most OP power that would also be terrible because if you get like pinned under something, if you fall in like a hole, goodbye. Like you're just it's like cars getting sent to like space. Like you just can't do anything anymore.
There's in Naruto. There's a immortal character that gets like a really fucking like crazy rad ending to it. Which I fucking love.
Does he go into space?
No.
Does he die?
It's a fate worse than death, to say that.
I know in Bleach, a manga that I've never read and I never will, there's a character who, as he's dying, he gets like a sword thrown into his face, and as he's dying, time slows for him. So he experiences like 10,000 years of like this sword slowly going through his skull. That's really cool.
That's right.
I wish that there was more cool things in Bleach, because then I'd read it.
I hear like the last like the other half of Bleach is like just bad. The second half of it.
I think most of Bleach is bad.
That's just what I hear people read. I feel like people hear mixing about like the first half, but like the second half I don't ever hear.
Yeah, what's the one? There's like one arc that everyone says is good.
Also, just one of the things where like the power scaling is like broken in it.
Yeah, you just can't. That's why something like JoJo is like really smart, because you can't really break the power scaling because everything just kind of gets like. Sam's giving me a look, and I know, like JoJo can be broken, but the way that it should be designed, I'm not going to look at Toru for a second.
Look away from part 8, Jim.
But the beauty of that is Toru. Oh my god, I'm going to put fucking hopefully. I'm going to put like my fingers crossed. Hopefully Toru won't return again to JoJo, because generally characters don't like leave parts, but they do sometimes.
No one's ever really gone, Jim.
All right, this is just not even about Attack on Titan anymore.
Yeah. I already stopped listening.
Did you already plug?
No, I did not get a chance to.
Oh, yeah, I made a joke about you eating glass, and then we did a whole bit.
You want me to do a bit? I don't know why.
All right.
I'm like half asleep. I could not do a good bit if I really fucking had to try.
All right.
As proof.
Fucking harden your skin so that we can get out of here.
Okay. Thank you all very much for listening. Please again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things. Join us so you know when they join us on Titan Tuesday.
Yes, check here every 4 p.m. on Titan Tuesday.
Every 4 p.m.
It is
every 4 p.m.
Every 4 p.m. on Titan Tuesday. Not every 4 p.m.
You say 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. You know, every 4 o'clock.
Every 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's when I drop these. That's
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Of course, there's no other actual times.
No, everybody else is like fake news.
True.
And you can also follow the podcast and me and Jim separately on Twitter. You can also join our Discord as well, and I think that's about everything.
I just want to say before we close it out.
What do you have left? What other bit do you got?
I think it's really funny that around 30 minutes of this episode, I said, there's not really too much to talk about. Like, we just kind of summarized the whole episode, and then we just went for another 30 minutes.
That's Titan Tuesday, baby.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
You never know the real ending.
Yeah, maybe Kenny will come back. I'm excited to see him.
The Kenny Everywhere system. He's like Majima in Yakuza, who's just going to be the Kenny Everywhere. He's just going to pop up to attack Levi in the streets.
If only. All right. And with that, I'm going to say good night and goodbye.
Goodbye. Is it good night to them, the people who listen to us at 4?
Yes. Well, I mean, I would say by the time they finish this, it's 5. I'd say that's nighttime.
But the West Coast is just going to be like...
Well, they don't exist.
They don't exist. California's not a real thing.
No. We only have fans within our time zone.
Our time zone.
All right. Good night and good luck. Join us for the next...
Good luck.
Join us for the next Titan Tuesday. I've been Jim.
And we'll see you when we finish part 1. I'm Sam.
Bye.
Goodbye.